Should I do it? Should I just put all of my eggs in one basket?
Fortune favors the brave.
I shouldn't. That's crazy. This is degeneracy.
Fortune favors the brave.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I guess I'm doing it. Hey guys, this is Tian from Engineered Money here with another video to talk all about the financial benefits of having a Crypto.com card. Now, there's a lot of people out there who are really big fans of, credit card points and, getting good cash back and kind of making decisions like that overall help their financial well-being. And this is the type of video that I want to show to you guys today. If you're interested in Crypto.com and you want to try out the card, click my referral link down below and get started with $25. Before I get into a little bit more about the numbers and why it's so good to have one of these cards, I want to just go over a little bit of backstory about what I ended up doing and how I ended up where I am. And to begin with, it all started with one day just back in 2020. I was investing some of my investments into cryptocurrency, right? And just like with any balanced portfolio, you have your stocks, you have your real estate, and of course, it doesn't hurt to have a nice little bit of cryptocurrency. So for me, I had roughly $50,000 of Bitcoin and Ethereum that I wanted to invest more than just kind of holding, right? There's all of these platforms out there that allow you to stake these. Well, I wouldn't say stake in the sense that some cryptocurrencies allow you to stake it to get rewards that are ingrained into the currency, but more so using something like Bitcoin and Ethereum and being able to get interest off of that. And that's when I first stumbled upon Crypto.com. So I ended up looking through a bunch of different reviews on all of these different services that allow us to get interest back on cryptocurrency. And what struck out to me the most about Crypto.com is that it had this bridge that allows you to use a card to spend your crypto. Well, at least that was my understanding of it from just early on. So just based off that, I decided that, you know what, I will give it a try and I'm gonna go look at all the different cards. And there's 5 card tiers. And of those 5 card tiers, you can choose from the lowest one, which is a free card that costs no money. And it goes all the way to the Obsidian card, which at the time when I started looking into these cards, this was January 2021, it was roughly 150,000 US dollars worth to get the Obsidian card. And every card in between was a simple denominator of 10 or so. So obviously being a relative newbie at this, I wasn't going to go and get something crazy like the Obsidian card. I didn't have enough money to get it anyways, right? I only had $50,000 or so of cryptocurrency and I was not feeling comfortable investing more into it. I liked having a balanced portfolio and I didn't want to change that for some service that I've never used before. And that was what I decided, right? And when I looked and decided in the end, I was most comfortable with getting a mid-tier card, which in this case, it was this guy right here, the Jade card. And the Jade card was something that cost me back in January around 1,500 US dollars to stake, but it allowed me to get Spotify covered, allowed me to get Netflix covered, and it gave me a nice 10% interest on the CRO that I staked, the $1,500 worth. And to me, that was pretty reasonable, If every month I get roughly $12 for Netflix and $12 for Spotify, I'm just guesstimating here. I think it's like approximately around that. Let's say $25 for both per month. That is not such a bad thing. And with 3% cashback, it allowed me to subsidize some of the purchases that I made that didn't give as good cash back. So I had a credit card that was good for dining and travel, the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Right? I also had just a regular plain Bank of America card that gave 3% on any category of my choice. I chose online shopping and like 2% on groceries and 1% on everything else. But this is kind of where the kicker is the coverage didn't allow me to necessarily buy everything for a good cashback. So 3% is pretty good to allow me to use miscellaneous purchases that are outside of dining and travel that I may want, right? Maybe some arbitrary purchase I make at some store for a hobby, just as an example. So because of that, I stuck with the Jade. And with the Jade, I was pretty happy, right? It was 3% cashback. I didn't use it for everything. I only used it for some of the things that I needed, but it also allowed me to have a platform to take my existing Ethereum and Bitcoin and start staking it and earning money. And this is through the Crypto.com earn. And that made me happy because being able to earn off of it gave me enough interest to make me feel like I'm making money off of my assets. And that's a good feeling. So fast forward a few months.
6 months later.
I realized that CRO has gained a lot of value by then. It was like something around $4,000 is what my $1,500 became. And later at that point in time, they also raised the amount that you needed for the new cards to $4,000 for the Jade, and anything above, it's like a 10x. So the IC would be 40,000 US dollars. Later on, that's when I had to make another big decision is, do I want to upgrade my card?
Fortune favors the brave.
This is kind of where it gets tricky because a 10x increase from $4,000 to $40,000, that's not hefty. If I wanted to make that conversion without selling any of my cryptocurrency, I'd have to add a lot of money that I wasn't comfortable adding. So what I was comfortable doing was thinking about whether or not I wanted to convert a lot of my Ethereum and a lot of my Bitcoin into CRO. And ultimately, I did end up doing that. And this is the result, right? And what does this card give over the Jade? Well, instead of 3% cashback, it's 5% cashback, which means it can replace all of my credit cards. I also now get Amazon Prime for free. That's a bit of a whoop-de-doo because, you know, it's something like $10 a month for Amazon Prime, and you're adding way more money just for this minuscule amount of money back. But I think the most important thing about it is the opportunity to have that extra interest with crypto earn. This is something that started to attract me because as the cryptocurrency market increased, I was starting to see more and more benefits in being able to get passive return on that cryptocurrency. So I went and I bit the bullet and I got this. What I want to take away from this is just that there is numbers and math involved in making this choice. Why did I decide to stake so much into CRO and take it all out of my existing cryptocurrency holdings? Was it really worth it putting it all in one basket? Well, fast forward to now, and I have to say, yeah, it was definitely worth it. So from January to June, I used the Jade card, and from July to now, I've been on IC. And if there was one thing that I would do going back, knowing what I know now, I would not even be purchasing real estate that I made in 2021, and I would have just gone ahead and got the Obsidian card first. But I'm okay with it because it is a risky play, and I was uncomfortable with taking that risk. So with the risk that I was comfortable with, I was able to get this IC card, and it has paid great dividends, and I want to share those numbers today. I'm now pulling up my spreadsheet that indicates the math that I did back in July of 2021 to show whether or not it was worth it for me to actually upgrade to the IC card from the Jade card. And you can see that in both scenarios for the IC and Jade card, I just took my general crypto holdings, which is about $50,000 worth of crypto. And I also added a $5,000 USDC, just, you know, fiat to USDC conversion pair, just to show what kind of benefits I get from interest off of that if I were to add a good amount of it into crypto.com. So the biggest difference you're going to notice is that on the IC card, my portfolio becomes far less balanced, and it's a lot heavier on CRO, with $40,000 being allocated to CRO and only $5,000 to Bitcoin and Ethereum each, compared to more, I would say, safer balance with the Jade card with only $4,000 in CRO and $23,000 in Bitcoin and Ethereum each. To me, Bitcoin and Ethereum are very stable and well-tested coins that go well with the market. They're the market makers, and they're kind of the backbone of the cryptocurrency world. Whereas to me, CRO is this newcomer that I've never tried before. I've started using for a few months, and you know, it's been good to me so far, but am I ready to make that jump? So the benefits of IC over Jade come in a few different sections. One is that you get increased interest from staking with an IC card than with a Jade. You're getting about 2% more interest on your cryptocurrency and stablecoins across the board by having an IC card over Jade. The other benefit is you're getting more cash back with your purchases and spending. So what that means is with the IC card, you get 5% cash back versus the 3% of Jade. So every purchase you make, you'll get a little bit more cash back. And the more you spend, the more you get cash back if you have the IC card compared to the Jade. And then the final benefit is that CRO, the staked CRO at least, not the Crypto.com earned CRO, I want to make that distinction, it gets 12% cash back on the ICY card, which is a very hefty amount, much higher than Bitcoin and Ethereum's cashback, which is 8.5% on the ICY card versus 6.5% on the Jade card and then 10% on CRO. So just having more allocated to CRO just means higher interest percentage because of the higher interest you get on the staked CRO. Overall, what that means is on any given year, if none of the prices change, obviously we can't make that assumption, but if none of the prices change, then we're looking at $6,350 of interest for the ICY card with my holdings versus only $3,990 for the Jade card. That's quite a big difference. But not only that, with my estimated spending per month on the card, so for me that would be about $2,500 a month, we're looking at roughly $162 worth of cash back for my spending. And this is also in addition to having a Netflix membership, a Spotify membership, and an Amazon membership, versus the significantly lower $112 per month cashback that I would see if I was running the Jade card instead. So just as an overall holistic view, if we were looking at this from the perspective of none of these coins changing in value, then it's safe to say that there is quite a big upside to the ICY card. So this brings me to what is the downside of making a switch like this. And that is pretty easy to answer. The downside would be the risk. The risk is higher when it comes to something like CRO versus Bitcoin and Ethereum because, as I said, Bitcoin and Ethereum are tried and true with very large market caps, and they don't move anywhere near as much as some of the coins that are down in the list of market cap, right? There's a lot more volatility down there, and that means CRO can easily lose a lot of value, but it can also easily gain a lot of value, and the percentages can grow a lot. That is rather scary. So what made me more comfortable in making this choice? I think it really just comes down to the similarities that I saw between CRO and Binance, and also just where the price action of Binance ended up. Binance was a coin that ended up going parabolic. In 2017 to 2021, we went from something like $15 on BNB, maybe even $10. I remember buying it for like under $10, I'm pretty sure. From that to like well over $600, right? And CRO is one of those things that is very similar to BNB in function, but it also has this added benefit of, you know, having this whole app that allows you to use a card, and all of these things make it seem like it should be able to close the gap on BNB and have similar price action to BNB. So I decided to make that lunge.